ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः। अथ श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता अथ पञ्चमोऽध्यायः। In the last few verses of chapter 5 of Bhagavad Gita, that is from the Sloka 6 to 15, Bhagavad Krishna said that if a person practice karma yoga and then enter into a sannyasa yoga, then he will attain moksha very quickly, and sannyasa also will be very easy for him. Because in the karma yoga, by practicing karma yoga itself, a person will have that equality of mind. So Atma Jnana is nothing but the main point in Atma Jnana is the purification of the mind. If one attains that, that is very hard to attain. But if one attains that, then the knowledge we get will automatically reveal ourself, or will be established in the self. So if a person practice karma yoga and then enter into sannyasa, or then after that if he attain atma jnana, then very soon he will get atma jnana, he will be established in the self. And he again praised the mentality of a jnani, that is the mind of the jnani. Even if he perform any action, like if he see, or if he perform any action, or if he hear, or if he walk, or if he do any action, he does it only physically. He is established at the same time. He is established in the self. This is the seeing in action, in action. And if a person perform that action with any action, he is doing that jnani. If he perform any action, then he is doing that action by body, mind, and intellect. And sometimes even he may involve the senses, but he is not affected. He means that self is not affected by it. And when a person do any action like this, the sin will not incur him, and the jiva of that person very peacefully remain in that body. And Bhagavan Krishna said that the creator of this universe did not create any action, or did not create any attachment to the action or attachment to the result, not that ownership, I did this action, he didn't create any of this. Then who created it? It is Prakriti, that is Maya. And he also said that in all the person they have knowledge, but they are enveloped by ajnana. And Bhagavan Krishna very well said that we all have jnana, but the only thing, it is enveloped by ignorance. Ajnanena avritam jnana. So in the continuing verses also he explained the same concept. Let us see what Bhagavan Krishna says. The verse 16 of chapter 5 of Bhagavad Gita is Jnanena tu tadjnanam yesham nashitamatmanah tesham adityavajnanam prakashayadi tatparam. That is, by knowledge, nashitam, that is, if that ajnana, ignorance is destroyed. By knowledge, if that in a person, if that ignorance is destroyed, then just like how the sun, that is the brightness of the sun, the light of the sun, reveals all the objects in this universe. Just like that, the knowledge of Brahman will reveal Brahman itself. There is no object in this world that cannot be revealed by sunlight. Just like that, by Brahmajnana, the self is revealed. But the only thing is, one must destroy that jnana. And the knowledge of the self can destroy ajnana. So the person whose ignorance is, that is ajnana, is destroyed, nashita. by jnana, by knowledge of the self, then just like the sun, the knowledge reveals Brahman. The next shloka is तद्बुद्ध्यस्तदात्मानः तन्निष्ठास्तत्परायणाः गच्छन्त्य पुनरावृत्तिं ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः. That is, one whose intellect is established in Brahman and one who is established in the self itself. How? Tanishta, by his own desire. If a person is established in Brahmajnana by his own interest, that parayana. That parayana means one's goal, supreme goal is that Brahman. Gachanti a punaravrati. That is, he will go. A punaravrati means he will not come back. There is no rebirth for him. Why should he have that take rebirth? Because we all think that this worldly life can give us happiness or bliss. That's why we are so much attached to it. But once, if we taste that Atma Jnana, that bliss of the self, sure, no one want to be in this world. So, Atma Jnana is so powerful and it is so attractive, and plus, it is infinite bliss. So, a jnani who has tasted the bliss of the self, he will never take rebirth. For a person to be born again and again, he must have ignorance. That's the first qualification to have rebirth. He must have ignorance, and he may think that this world can give everything, and the balance of the papa and punya should be equal. Only then we will get a human birth. That Bhagavad Krishna says, Jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha. That is, all his sins, his papas, are dispelled by knowledge. Then how can he take rebirth? For a person to have rebirth or to take rebirth, he must have papa. That is dispelled by knowledge. So even if he wished, he cannot take rebirth. All his papas are removed by knowledge. So that's the state of the jnani, and he will not be born again. He will not take rebirth. And the next shloka 18 says, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Ghavi Hastini Shuni chaiva swapake cha pandita samadarshinaha. That is sampanna. Sampanna in what? In vidya. Vidya sampanna means a person who is prosperous in knowledge. Automatically he will have humility. Not only humility, in another one acharya says that vinaya means culture. That is the cultured person, we will say. What is culture? Culture means to understand the feeling and the emotions of others and respond in a way according to that, so that the other person will feel comfortable. So that's the culture. In a way that it is, can be said as the nature. Culture not only means what we practice or what our ancestors they used to do. Not only that, basically the basic for all that is to understand the feeling and the emotions of the other person and to respond accordingly so that the other person must feel comfortable. For example, if a person comes to us to our house to meet us, so our culture is to immediately receive him, make him to sit comfortable, and offer him something to drink so that he will feel comfortable. So that's the culture. So that's our culture, we say. So the culture is to understand the feeling and the emotions of others and to respond in that way accordingly so that the other person may feel comfortable. So, all this will come only when we have knowledge. Knowledge, in the sense, it is not the knowledge, the worldly knowledge. The worldly knowledge or the university degrees will only make us more and more egoistic, competitive, more exclusive. But the knowledge of the self, it will give us a feeling to see everyone, view everyone equally, equality of mind. One and only Atmajnana can give that. All the other knowledge we may have, because other knowledge, they are there to give us a skill. By that we can earn money. All the other knowledges in this world, whether it is whatever profession we take, whatever profession and whatever the worldly knowledge we have, it teaches a skill, and by that we earn money and we become prosperous. But Atmajnana, the main Vidya, or that Vidya in reality, is not that. It will make us more and more inclusive. It will destroy our ego, whereas the other knowledge will make us more and more egoistic. It is very hard to find a person who is highly educated or a scholar without knowledge. He will be an egoistic person only, because it is the knowledge which makes a person so humble, and it gives the cultured nature, for cultured way of behavior towards anyone. And that's what Bhagavan Krishna also says. A person who is sampanna, who has atmajnana, and who has vinaya, humility, or culture, he will see everything equally. He will see a brahmana, or a gavi, a cow, a hasti, an elephant, shuni, a dog, swapaka, that is a person who eats dog, because he has so much of ignorance has covered him, so it will take a long time for him to understand the reality. So, as such a person, Pandita, even a scholar, they all are seen equally without any difference by a jnani, who is sampanna in Vidya, that is Atma Vidya. So he will understand that a person who has jnana, he will immediately know that all these differences are in the mind and the form. In reality, the essence of any person is Atma, that is Brahman, and with that in mind, he will view any person in this world. And such a person, he doesn't take credit in what he has attained. So this is the Brahma Drishti. This is the Brahma Jnana Lakshana itself. This is the Brahma Darshana. इहैव तैर्जितः सर्गो येषां साम्ये स्थितं मनः निर्दोषं हि समं ब्रह्म तस्माद् ब्रह्मणि ते स्थिताः. That is, a person who see equality in this world. Even if we live in this world, if we see equality in all beings, that is, a person who doesn't take credit in what he has attained, or who has the mentality to see everything with equality of mind. That is, they say in the scriptures that if for a jnani there is no difference between between a gem and a stone. It is not that he doesn't know the value of the gem. It is that for in his eye, in his view, even the gem is temporary. So he doesn't respect that. So a person like that who has equality, samadrishti, Tasma Brahmani de stitaha. Why? Because he is established in Brahman. Brahmajnana, that is, he is established in Brahman, means he is established in that infinite bliss. So he doesn't feel the need or importance for anything else. So he will attain moksha. There is no rebirth for him, even if he live in this world as Jivan Mukta. That is, Bhagavan Krishna is beginning to say the qualities of a Jivan Mukta. In the next shloka also, he praises the mind of the Jivan Mukta. न प्रहृष्येत् प्रियं प्राप्य नो द्विजेत् प्राप्य चाप्रियं स्थिरबुद्धिरसम्मूढः ब्रह्मविद् ब्रह्मणि स्थितः. So this is a Jivan Mukta, mind of a Jivan Mukta. He doesn't rejoice or feel happy when he attains something pleasant, nor does his mind is affected or feel dejected or distracted when he receive anything apriyam, that is anything which is not of his desire. Na prakrishet priyam. He doesn't rejoice when he receive anything pleasant. He will not be disturbed or troubled when he receive anything that is not that pleasant, or when he receive anything that is not pleasant for him. He will take that both equally. That's because whatever we attain it for the body, or we attain it for the mind, or we attain it for the intellect, isn't it? If we insult anyone, if we insult a jnani, then we are insulting his body or mind or the intellect. When someone insults us, they are maybe insulting or telling something about our body. Then we may feel very worried about it. It's only the body. For a jnani, it is external to him. Or they may insult our mind, our emotions, or our feelings. We may feel so much disturbed about it. Or they may insult our intellect. They may say that, they may tell that you do not know anything. Then it affects our intellect because they are hitting our intellect. In the first place, why should a person hurt other person? Basic psychology is, if a person insult or hurt or wound a person physically, mentally, or intellectually, then that person will shrink and go backward. So the other person who has insulted can take advantage of it or misuses or do anything. But if a person is not concerned about whatever a person tell about their body, mind, or intellect, then that other people cannot make them shrink. So that's why some people, even when they are insulted, they just don't care. By experience, a worldly person will get this knowledge slowly. But if a person receives this knowledge by Atma Vidya, when he is established in the self and then not concerned about the body, mind, or the intellect, then the power of the person is very different. So a jnani very well understand that he knows that the body, mind, and the intellect are external to him, and he is established in that Atma, always established in the self. No one will dare to insult a jnani. But even if some people, some ignorant people do that, he is least concerned about it. Whatever a person tell him, he is not deluded by it. Sthira buddhi, that is asamudha, by he has a steady intellect and he is undeluded because he is Brahmavid, knower of Brahman. Brahmani stitaha, established in Brahman. So nothing bothers him. So this is the mind of a Jivan Mukta. Such a person is very rare to see in this world, because in this world We see people who have Atma Jnana, but they are not that well established in Brahman. So it is very virtuous to see any person like this. The next shloka is बाह्यस्पर्शेष्वसक्तात्मः विन्दत्यात्मनि यत्सुखं स ब्रह्मयोगयुक्तात्मः सुखम् अक्षयमश्नुते. Bhahyaspasheshu asaktatma. That is a person who is unattached to the external influences, a person who is not affected by the external influences. Vindati atmani yat sukham. That is, he always he attains that atma sukha. Sir, Brahma Yoga Yuktatma, he is endowed with the knowledge of the self and is established in the self. And the Sukham he experienced, that is the happiness and bliss is he experiences is Akshayam, that is endless. Akshayam Sukham, that is he attains endless peace. So that's the nature of a jnani. If a person is affected by the external influences, then you cannot say he is established in Brahmanishta. He may have the knowledge, theoretical knowledge, but he is not established in the self. One cannot say that he is a Brahmanishta because he is affected by the external influences. Such a strong mind a person will have, a Brahmajani will have, or a Jivan Mukta will have. Because Brahman is a spotless. There is no kalmasha, that is a sin or impurity in Brahman. He's just a pure being, just that consciousness, existence, consciousness. So that nature, the jnani will reflect in his mind. The next shloka, that is the shloka 22 in chapter 5 is Yahi samsparshaja bhogaha dukkayonaya evate adhyantavantah kaunteya nateshu ramate buddhaha. Very beautifully explained by Bhagavan Krishna. That is what he says, that samsparshaja, that is whatever is attained by the contact of the objects, that is whatever we attain. We may attain wealth, money, then we may attain education, we may attain status, position, whatever we attain by contact with the external objects, all that will give dukkha in one day or other. Because why does it give dukkha? It is adhyantavat. Because it has a beginning and end. Adi and anta, it has a beginning and end. Even if we attain a lot of money, either the money will leave us or we will leave the money. We may trouble us, so we may feel, oh, it's enough, and we will move away from it, or the money will move from us. The same thing with education. Whatever degree we acquire or we get, so hard we study, all in the dharmic way only, either we will come out of it or the world will go beyond it. Just to see so much of confusion, that chat GPT, artificial intelligence. So all the people who have studied all the basic computer languages or programming languages, they are so scared that they may lose their job. So this is the nature of the world. Either the world will surpass us and go beyond us, or we will move away from that world, unable to cope up with the world. So that's the nature of the world itself, because everything, whatever we have, all that they have adi, beginning and anta. This is not to make any person passive or to discourage in what they have attained. Definitely not that. Bhagavan Krishna is not telling for that purpose. What he's trying to say is we have to understand the nature of the world or the nature of Maya and to live accordingly or train our mind accordingly. Because some people, when they retire from service, they feel so bad, frustrated. They may think that their service is no more needed for the government or no more needed by the office. It's not like that. It is the nature of the world. Either we will go away from it or the world will go beyond us. So, at one time or other, whatever we acquire, that is not enough and that will go away from us. Either we will leave it or it will go from us. Even money is like that. Whatever millions and millions we earn, someone else will come and earn more millions than that. And some people, there are many examples that some millionaires, they just leave everything and join, go to spirituality just because they don't feel that money they have earned or what all they have earned so far is not worthy. So that's the nature of the world, that's the nature of Maya, and that is Bhagavan Krishna very beautifully explained that concept in this verse. Samsparshaja bhogaha dukkha yonaya evate. They all give worry at one time or other. They are all the generators of pain, definitely. Adyandavantaha kaunteya, because they all have a beginning and an end. Tadeshu ramade buddha, a person who is intelligent, he is not attracted by it or he doesn't rejoice by it. So one may think that if I have a degree, if I have a position, if I have a money, what should I do? Just have the equality of mind. That's what Bhagavad Krishna is telling. One must not take too much of credit in what we attain, because when that everything what we attain leave us, then we have to accept that demerit also. According to the law of the creation, law of the world, law of the nature, what all we attain in the dharmic way, very hard earned money or whatever it is, either it will leave us or we will move away from it. But at that time we have to accept the demerit. So if we do not accept the credit for it, then there is no way we'll be attached to it. That's why Bhagavad Krishna is again and again telling that doesn't mean one has to remain idle and practice the sannyasa. That's not what Bhagavad Krishna says. One must have work hard. That's what he's telling Krishna, Arjuna also. Go and do your duty. One must work hard, attain everything, attain success, but not attached to it. Just do it as a duty, the service of the God or the service of the society. The main thing is one should not be so attached to it. That's what Bhagavan Krishna again and again emphasizes by this vidya. So there are a few more verses in this chapter 5. I'll continue in the next video. Etra yogeshwara Krishna yatra partho dhanurdara tatra shri vijayor bhuti dhruvani tirmatirmama. Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.